Welcome to another book review. Again, one that I have borrowed from Rachel, and this is Freya, Meeting the Norse Goddess of Magic by Morgan Daimler. So I will try not to do the fangirl bit about Morgan Daimler. I don't guarantee that's not going to happen because she is one of my favourite authors. This book is another one that I hadn't realised was out there until I saw it on Rachel's bookshelf. It was actually released by Moon Books in 2023. So not that old, but yes, not one that I had clocked. Pagan Portal. Look at that. Nice, concise, packed with information, as all of Morgan Daimler's books are. As I say, I will try and not do the fangirl bit because I think I've done that on several of these before. But yeah, there are 6 chapters. It starts off with who is Freya, then goes on to Freya in mythology and folklore, gives you then her associations, her animals and her possessions. And then chapter 4 is about Freya and Sia, which is the Norse magic and how she is related to that. She is the goddess of Norse magic with Frigg. They both have an insight into that. The author's done it again. You know, they are just, their knowledge base is just fantastic. They take those old resources, the ones that we have, and they make them accessible to people like me to read in books like this. Whether you are interested and already work with Freya, or whether you're just interested in learning a bit more about her, this book is for everyone. It is accessible, it is down to earth. The author gives suggestions. She is not dictatorial in any way. The final 2 chapters, so you've gone, the author's taken you through all of the resources that are available to us, the Prose Edda, the Poetic Edda, all of those older resources. They then bring Freya in chapter 5 into the modern world. This is what I love about this author, because they don't just leave everything in the past. They bring it into the present. How can we relate to this goddess? How does this goddess relate to us today? So, where do I start, basically? So I'll start with the fact that in modern resources, or the bringing Freya into the modern world, the author talks about music and how even Jethro Tull's song Hunt by Numbers refers to a cat as Freya's familiar. There's all sorts of different musical associations. The author then talks about where Freya appears in fiction, in different novels over the years. Just trying to see if there's one here that I can. So there's Blue Moon by Isabel Bird, which is her 6th book in the Circle of 3 young adult series. Claimed by a God by Eva Chase is a romance series. Odd and the Frisk Giants by Neil Gaiman features Freya as a character. Freya is also then in video games, cited again by the author, on television where she's appeared, in television programs, in comics. So the author then says about how you would envision whether you would use any of those. She then gives her own Freya in my life and how Freya guides her, is part of her practice. Chapter 6 is then about how to connect with Freya. Just covers all the bases. So the author talks about shared personal gnosis. In other words, there isn't a hard and fast. Nobody can say this is what you have to do. You must do this, because we haven't got it. We just haven't. And this is one of the things, as I say, that I love about this author. She's not dictatorial in any way. They tell you when it's their own personal experience, their own personal gnosis. They don't try and inflict their ideas onto you. Very clearly, this is my understanding. This is my interpretation. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yes, so connecting to Freya today, the author talks about statues that are available, and how to actually use statues you wouldn't think about. Taking it, off at a tangent. So they then talk about altars or making a shrine for Freya, and again give personal examples of how they've done this. They then list offerings that you could give: apples, pork, strawberries, mead, chocolate. Again, saying how they actually incorporate any of those. They then give some prayers and some poetry. And I think I will be presented here as my own original work. So the author has actually shared with us some of her personal prayers. Very, very generous, very generous. There is then a guided meditation for you to meet Freya, to start to develop your own relationship. The author gives us a ritual bath that they take as well, and discusses Freya in their life at the end, which is again very generous, very generous. There is a conclusion. Freya is a complex goddess, and this book perhaps begins to hint at some of the layers which she contains and which define her. So yes, it is packed with information. As always, you know me, I will go to the back to see what the bibliography looks like. So we'll start off, there is a pronunciation guide, which is very handy for anybody that doesn't understand Norse like me. Additional resources. They have given us several online resources there. End notes. There's 4 pages of end notes. Then the bibliography, which is 2 pages, which is in a book this size about a Norse goddess. Mind-blowing. 2 pages of just, I'm going to say it. I love this author. I just think they are absolutely amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed learning a bit more about Freya. It's certainly given me food for thought. The bibliography has given me a rabbit hole to head off down into. So yeah, another book that I would highly recommend. Please, if you have enjoyed this, let me know. If you get the book, tell us what you think about it. Other than that, just say hello, and I will see you next time.